Today's video, I am going to share with you an automation if you are a woman in construction or if you want to sell automations and workflows to construction businesses, because maybe you found my TikTok. And let me introduce myself. My name is Vanessa. If you haven't met me before, and I teach women how to grow and scale a construction business and how to create automations that they can sell to construction businesses, because AI is here to stay. And the faster that we incorporate it and learn it, the more we can grow. Selling automations to blue collar businesses is something right now that is very popular, because those in blue collar or in construction businesses usually are on the field. They are busy and they don't have time for this, but they definitely need it. Today, I am going to share with you an automation that is very simple. And it basically, when we did market research, we realized that 60 to 70% of plumbers and different trades they were losing 60 to 70% of leads because they would take a long time to get back to the lead. And studies show that when somebody reaches out for a quote or an estimate or to schedule a job, they really need it urgently. Automation shows how to get a lead from a Wix website, if that is the case, and how to create a workflow that allows the client that submitted the form to schedule a service or a walkthrough or an estimate. And basically, all you have to do is, if you are in our community, I already shared this as a template, so you would just copy the template in Lindy. Lindy is an app that allows for you to create AI agents. AI agents are autonomous, which means that they perform tasks without a lot of human interaction, if any. So basically, when you log into Lindy, if you are in the community, you will just press on the link, right, that I shared, and it will create basically what you see here. This, what it does is, as you can see here, is that it gets the lead from the Wix website. And let me share with you on the Wix website what the form looks like, just so that you can know exactly what I'm talking about. And inside of the Wix website, I created a form, right, in automations. 1 second so that you can see here. You're already going to see it created, and that's okay. So here it is. And you can see, you can preview it, right? Just so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. It has the person's name, the phone, the email. The drop down is the service. You can, instead of drop down, you can just put service request and a long answer. Here in long answer, you can ask the person, how soon do you need this? Is this an emergency? And then in the settings, right, you will be able to see the message that they get. Thank you, we received your submission. And you can even add payment fields if you knew how much it would cost. If you have been in the field for a long time, you know that there's certain services that mainly fall within the same category of pricing. So you could do that. Once you create that form, you are going to add it to your website where it says automations. And basically what it is an automation. And as you can see, here it is. And when you go into your website, this is just a website I created for demo purposes. This is basically the form. So now that you have the form and you have logged into Lindy and you created an account, I'll put my referral code in the bottom so that you can get a few credits if you want. Here in the new row added, before you log into Lindy, the only other thing that you would need to do is you would need to create a Google Sheet. And all you want to do is create exactly what it says here. This is what the columns that, based on the questions, would be filled automatically from the form. Okay, so that's all you need. And then you would need the Google Sheet link, which is right here, as you can see. The top part is the ID that you're going to need in a few minutes when we are in Lindy creating it. So here, when you go into Lindy, the new row added, this is where it starts. And basically here is where you would put your Gmail account. This is just a demo account, and the spreadsheet URL. After you do that, what is going to happen is, as soon as the form is filled out in the website, the automation gets the form and fills out the person's information. The second step is that you, whoever is in charge the admin, the owner, the receptionist, it doesn't matter, will get a notification via email telling them somebody submitted the website, the form through the website, so that you know in real time instead of having to go in and check. Then the person, the customer, gets an email. And basically, what is happening inside of that email, basically, they're saying that in the body, I asked for write a professional email thanking the lead for contacting us about their project, explain that we'd love to provide them with a free estimate and that our technicians will come to their location, ask them to confirm area of home, project, approximate size. This is tailored to whatever you or your customer needs, meaning if you're selling an automation, however your customer works, or if you are the owner of the business, whatever information you need to know. You want to connect this to a type of scheduling, whether it's Calendly or Google Calendar. I use Calendly and I will show you now. Again, this is just a free account that I created. If you go into Calendly and you set up an account, it will tell you in the calendar that you can choose your availability. I only said Tuesdays and Wednesdays I was available, and they are going to give you a link. That is the link that you will add into your Lindy. As you can see right here is my link, and that is for there not to be any conflict of schedule. Again, this is tailored to your needs or your client's needs, right? After they get the email, it's going to wait for a response. This is something that's going to take maybe 2 or 3 minutes as soon as the form is submitted. After the response, if nothing happens, if the person isn't booking, then here is a timer, right? And that means that the person gets an email within 24 hours. You can change this to get a second email. You can change this for the person to also get a text message encouraging them to book the call or the walkthrough, the estimate, the service, whatever you desire. After that is done, if the person has not booked, you have another option, which is send an email, okay? And the other email would just be a friendly follow-up that the lead hasn't booked, and that we still, we offer free estimates, and that they can use this scheduling link to book, because people usually forget or get busy depending on the situation. Also, keep in mind that if someone has an emergency and you receive that, if you want to give them a call, you can also do that. But if you don't have the time and you want to include a text message, you also have the ability. That is a workflow. That is an automation. This is something that people are paying for. Let's say that here in Lindy, I just want to show you guys one more thing. Let's say that in Lindy, and let me share my tab. Let's say that in Lindy, if the condition would be that the person has not booked, then you would send them another message. Or here, this is that the person has booked. And if they booked and they scheduled their service, then you can write them an email saying, thank you for your business. Please rate our service. And they would be added to your email list or the customer's email list, and they will rate your service so you know exactly how it went with the technician and things like that. And that is it. That is basically a workflow. If you wanted to create this and share it, sell it, basically, you would just copy the link, and that is the template that you would sell. Obviously, the information is this for each client is personal, right? So their email list, their Google, their Wix website, but this is basically how you would do it. You can do this even if you don't have a Wix website. You can do this from basically any website. But I think this was a good explanation or a good example of how you can actually do it using Wix. If you want to send a text message, you can. You can add an AI receptionist to this, literally that the person gets a call. You can add payment links so that the person can actually schedule and pay. You can add that the person gets the project manager or the technician uploads pictures, and the person gets the pictures of the before and the after. All of this can be tailored to your client's needs, but this is something that I highly encourage you to start working with and start getting used to, because it's very easy to set up. It solves a very big problem. After 3 months, which is what I recommend that you work with closely with the client, in my opinion, you'll be able to have data. and you'll be able to pinpoint where there may be a crack in the system. So maybe it's not so much that the leads aren't followed up with immediately, but maybe the technician is going out there and you see that you're scheduling a lot of calls, but they're not closing the sale. So maybe you would like to, as the business owner or as the consultant, have this conversation with the business owner, with your client, and say, hey, maybe it's that they need a little bit more sales training or our prices or whatever it is. So as a business owner, it really gives you information. If everything goes well, their return on investment for what they paid you would be something that they would be able to get back within a short amount of time. Because imagine those numbers, 60 to 70%. So I hope that you put this into practice. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I will share the template link with those in the community so that you can start playing with it and see how it goes.